You're listening to the Faeries and Folklore podcast by Ronel. I'm dark fantasy author Ronel Janse van Vuuren. With nearly a decade of digging around in dusty folklore books, researching creatures of imagination that ignited my curiosity, I'm here to share the folklore in a nutshell and how I reimagined it for my writing in An Origin of the Fae. This is the Faeries and Folklore podcast. Hi, I'm your host Ronel Janse van Vuuren. You can just call me Ronel. In today's episode, we're continuing our exploration of the Faery. This episode is brought to you by my Dark Court Sisters book series, available in ebook, paperback and audiobook. 3 sisters, 3 destinies, 3 ways to destroy the world. Go to ronelthemythmaker.com/Dark Court Sisters series for more. You can now support my time in producing the podcast, researching, writing and everything else involved by buying me a coffee. This can be a once-off thing, or you can buy me coffee again in the future at your discretion. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Ronel to support me. We are continuing our exploration of solitary fae. Today's fairy, Leannan Sìth. Folklore in a nutshell by Ronel. Seen as the fairy mistress or fairy sweetheart of Celtic artists, writers, poets and singers, Leannan Sìth bestows the gift of artistic genius to a chosen one, but at a great cost. Some of these men go insane or die after a brief yet brilliant career in the arts. She appears as a beautiful young woman and takes her victim as a lover once he falls in love with her. As she inspires him, she also drains him of his life force. If the victim spurns her advances, she'll quickly kill him and drain him of his blood, which she then stores in a red cauldron for uses unknown. In some tales, she is invisible to all but her victim. This dark muse is difficult to refuse, but those who succumb are her slaves for all of eternity. Beware. And now for my interpretation of the Fae in An Origin of the Fae, Leannan Sìth. This dark muse has beautiful red hair to go with her strikingly good looks. There are only female Leannan Sìth. She offers inspiration to an artist in exchange for his love and complete devotion. Lovers of Leannan Sìth live brief, though highly inspired lives. This union always ends in madness, despair, and death. If her advances are spurned, she'll take action against the human with unpleasant results. Better to devote oneself to this fairy and die young than go against her and ever cause a fate worse than death, for all you know. She drains the sanity and life force from the men she inspires to greatness. She drains the blood from those she deems unworthy of her love, which is a gift and a curse of itself. She drinks their blood from a huge cauldron in which she gathers their very essence and vitality along with their blood. This is the source of her power and good looks. This technically makes her a vampire. With one kiss from her, a man is a slave, even beyond death. She takes possession of his heart and soul. She only goes after young, handsome men. As a little bonus, let's look at this fairy translated to Afrikaans. Donker muse. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of the Faeries and Folklore podcast and that you've learned something new about fairy. Remember that you can get a transcript of this episode in the description. If you're new to the podcast, why not go and grab your free copy of Unseen, the second book in the fairy tale series, on my website, ronelthemythmaker.com. Loads of folklore, magic, and danger await. Take care.